Peace and blessings. Namaste to all the light workers on the world. Today is another rut roll. Another one of those difficult topics that, I've been pushed to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in it because there's a lot of theories, there's a lot of teachings concerning this topic of 666, the mark of the beast, right? What is it? How do we get this? How do we prevent ourselves from being part of that? What do we have to do? So first of all, I want to explain what 666 actually signifies. Okay, 666 deals with 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons, right? It is a carbon-based life form. When we go back through our histories, through our Bibles and things like that, when man was created, he was created with a divine spark. Okay, and this was a spark of consciousness that connected him to the source originally. Okay, so in our purest form, in man's purest form, he was already connected with the source. And his DNA was already crystalline. Now, what I want to say about crystalline, I want you to think about Christ consciousness. I want you to think about the Christos. Okay, these are all terms that we've known for a very long time, but didn't quite piece together. And so in this duration of time, the great revealing, a lot of secrets are going to be exposed. And a lot of us who are light workers are getting these secrets, and it is our charge to let you know. So, okay. Then there was some actions that took place, right? The fall of man, let's say that. We're just going to call it that. I can get a lot more detailed about it, but for the sake of time and the sake of sanity, we're just going to say we had a fall. We had a fall. The fall was the manipulation of the DNA. Okay, so the planet, when it went in through, this matrix type of system, have become all carbon-based life forms here. All right. Your pineal gland became calcified. You became trapped into this earth system. And there was a detachment from you and the seat of the divine. Now, the seat of the divine is considered your pineal gland. Okay, so this is how we tap into the higher levels of consciousness. This is how we travel. This is how we communicate. This is how we broaden and expand our light. Okay, it's through the seat of the divine. All right, now, because it has become calcified, we found ourselves being disconnected and functioning as a carbon-based life form. And what do we mean by that exactly? 666, and the reason why they're calling it a beast nature is it's the lowest nature of man. Okay, this is man that operates instinctual, not really guided by higher levels of consciousness. It's the base level of humanity, instinctual, like a beast would operate. This is why you have these murders. This is why you have all of this crime. We're talking about a primitive mind state here, not just flight or fight. That's part of it, but it's also very protective, territorial, narcissistic, instinct, not common sense, not spirituality, so the beast notion is that you're living your life in the lowest vibration possible. Okay, you're living your life in the lowest vibration, the lowest frequency possible. Everything, is about me right now. Everything is about survival. There is no real connection to others, no real unity, no real love, no more compassion. So when you're operating, from the carbon-based lower level of man, then you're operating in your beast nature. Okay? This is what you're seeing in the world. Okay? You have those of us who have become enlightened, or that are moving upward, that are vibrating on higher frequencies and the highest law of love, and then you have some that are still vibrating on the lowest frequency, and they're in beast nature, and they're very instinctual and survival mode. Okay, that's the best way to say it. Okay, the lacking of compassion and all of that stuff. So when you hear the great master Yeshua say, okay, you have to be born again, what he is talking about is actually activating, reactivating your DNA, okay, so that we're turning it from carbon-based to crystalline based, okay? This is the divine spark that's being reignited in your body. This comes across through your actions, okay? You're no longer living on the lowest vibration of instinct, but you're now tapped into the divine. You have awakened to who you are, who you've come to be, and you're here to awaken humanity. Remember now, we judge people, or we judge a tree by its fruits, right? So even though we're out here saying, okay, listen, oh, I'm born again, I'm saved, or whatever it is that the religious folks like to say, you have to watch the behavior. You have to watch the behavior and understand what type of fruit is being brought forth. Now, with this being said, how we free ourselves, and we get out of this 666 carbon-based nature is we do go through the process of awakening. We go through the process of cleansing. We go through the process of activating our DNA. You can call on the High Master Yeshua. He will help you with this process. There's others that will help you. You have high angel councils as well that will help you with this process. And what you're doing is reactivating and reigniting the DNA that has been lying dormant in your body for a very long time, okay? You're also decalcifying your pineal gland so that you have access to the divine source, the ineffable, right? The absolute, the Ein Sof. I'd like to say Ein Sof, okay? That's what makes sense to me. But in order for you to be able to escape this matrix prison, you're going to have to go with the Christ consciousness. You're going to have to awaken these things, okay? I don't know what method you choose to do so. I know what method worked for me because I know that the Christ consciousness deals with the crystallization of the DNA. It awakens this dormant DNA. It alters us. It alters our understanding. It opens us up to the divine on a totally different level. You cannot say that you're operating in your highest level of consciousness and you're not operating in love. If you're still operating in fear, if you're still operating in division, if you're still operating in hate, anger, all of those things, that you need some work to do. I mean, you have to put in the work to do that, because once we have unlocked this, then we know that we ultimately have arrived, and is it going to be a continual journey? Of course it is. Not saying that some of us don't fall backwards every now and then and you want to choke somebody, right? That used to be my favorite form. I used to like choking. That's my thing. It's not my thing anymore. My hands are now used for mudras. I'm a good girl. But you want to make sure that you understand that in order for you to ascend, you have to change the DNA codes, okay? You have to awaken. You have to raise your vibration. You have to raise your consciousness. And you can do this optimally when you're operating from the heart chakra of love, okay? And then your crown chakra opens up to the divine, all right? So we understand this. Now, the earth itself is filled with carbon-based life forms. If you don't really know how planets are created, okay, I'll share with that very briefly. Okay, so basically what you will have is a void. Okay, let's call this void space, time, just nothing and all things at the same time. Blackness, ether. When a planet is created, it is typically started with a vortex. All right. So the vortex starts to spin, and then whatever is collected in that atmosphere is condensed. All right. So we're pulling stardust or wherever it is in the atmosphere, it's starting to spin and then it starts to condense, okay? And when it starts to condense, a planet is formed. Now, if you want to put life forms on this planet, you have to make sure that the life form or the planet is able to sustain whatever life form is on it. So what we're saying is your genetic body is made up of the same things of the earth and the atmosphere. So we are made, that's why we have iron in our bodies, that's why we have calcium in our bodies. You know, we have all of the things, water, you know, all of the things that make up our atmosphere and our planet is in our bodies, right? So if the planet is carbon-based and you are carbon-based, can you go anywhere else? No, you can't, okay? You're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck here in this matrix system, in this earth prison, because you're not allowed to go anywhere else. It won't support you unless your body transitions. That's a completely different topic, and that might be a little bit too heavy right now. So I'm just going to keep it basic. When we're dealing with 666, it's all about your DNA, okay? It's all about your ability to transition from carbon-based, basic level, instinct survival mode to high consciousness, crystalline DNA that opens you up to the source and allows you to travel and allows you access to higher frequencies and higher levels of vibration. But the work has to be done inwardly, right? So with that being said, it's also important for you to know that because we're stuck here in this matrix system, that there's a lot of forces that is working very, very adamantly to keep you from awakening that part of you. Okay, they're going to do it with a lot of pharmaceutical drugs. You know, they're going to do it with your food. You know, they're going to do it with what you're watching on TV, what you're allowing into your spirit. Like all of these things are designed to keep you at the lowest level of your consciousness as possible. Okay, be careful of what you're putting in your body. I know there's a frequency of fear out there, like, oh my God, you know, you have this COVID thing or this coronavirus thing, but if you remember that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, then you know that your body has a natural way of healing itself and the earth will support that. Okay, you have to understand everything that we need to survive, to stay healthy, has already been provided for you. It becomes nonsensical to put something foreign in your body so that you have the ability to fight it. Okay, so this is not something that is being widely pushed, but it's understood by the masses of enlightened ones. That's why we go back to the earth with herbs and things like that, because we know that there are malevolent forces out here that want to keep you under mind control. And they do it with drugs, okay, decalcifying your pineal gland. And a lot of these drugs are designed to manipulate your DNA. They're designed to keep you bound to your God. Oh, what is my God, Sophie? The world, the matrix system. That's your God. When you start trusting your government more than your higher level of consciousness, more than the source, more than what your own body says to you, okay, then you've literally sold your soul. You can get it back. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful of what you're putting. I don't care what people are pushing out here on you. Get out of that state of fear. That state of fear will have you locked in this matrix system. It will keep your DNA carbon-based, and it will keep you from ascending to higher levels of consciousness. We roll with the crystals. Okay? Here, that's what we do. And I'm putting this out there for you because I need you to be very, very careful and understand what this mark is and how it is designed to hinder you. Because once it is accepted, once that becomes your God, there's kind of no turning back. It is the mark of a lower natured being and your alignment with them. You want to wonder why people out here have no regards and taking another human being's life, right? Or killing children, or making sacrifices? Does that stuff even remotely sound like anything that you would participate in? No, but there's people doing it. What happened to them? What did they tap into? How are they able to do these things with little to zero remorse? What kind of soul resides in that? Yeah? Think about it. But you who are called by the highest light, you know better than this, correct? So we don't take the mark of the beast of this world. We don't deal in the matrix system. We open up to the divine. We accept the divine, and we transform from the inside out. We unlock dormant DNA. We are grateful to the Ein Sof. And we live our life with purpose and light. Okay? That's a very simple explanation. I can go in a lot more detail, but I'm not sure if people are ready to hear that. So my best advice to you is be careful what you put in your body. Go through your process of enlightenment. Lead with your heart. Connect always inward. And be open to receive from the divine. Transform your light. And we are here to support you. Don't get it twisted. This is not a game. Do not accept the mark. I'm Sophie, and I love you all. Bye.